So, welcome to a traditional marketing method called you author and promote your book. So, this is great if you want to write a book to help market your coaching business. All right, let's jump in. Okay, so how can writing a book grow your coaching business? Writing a book helps coaches will get more clients because you get to show off your expertise and it helps skyrocket your credibility. Writing a book is a great marketing tool that can attract a wider audience and build trust with potential clients, referral partners, and media sources. So there's all kinds of things you can do beyond just getting the book in people's hands. It's also a fantastic marketing tool when you leverage it right. Remember, it's not about the number of books that you sell, but it's the number of people who actually read your book that matters, because those are the people that are going to get the transformation because they're reading it and absorbing it. All right. So writing a book is great. And maybe you've written a book already and you want to resurrect a book, or maybe you wrote a book and you want to edit it, or maybe do a new cover, give it a new name, and you can, again, resurrect any of your old books as long as it aligns with how you are coaching now and what you're known for. And it would really serve that client profile. And if this is their first time and you have a book inside your heart and you're ready to do something with it, then this is going to be great for you to learn these tips and tricks. All right. So how do you write, launch, and promote your book? When my very first book I wrote was called The Boss in Bunny Slippers. And I wrote it as I was exiting the corporate world because I led virtual teams all over the world. And I wanted to write a book that taught women how to lead virtual teams. And, I think I was just a decade ahead of my times. If I should have probably resurrected the book, to be honest, like during COVID. But, it was one of these things that was like a passion project of mine. I didn't understand that there was a whole marketing thing that needed to happen with the book. I self-published. I hired an editor to help make sure it was good and all these kind of things. And it was when I sold the book, or when I launched the book, I think I sold a couple copies. Of course, my mom bought a copy and my aunt, and like maybe one or two. Like it was like wah, and it was then that I was like, oh, okay, well, I kind of just like let it go and check the box. And then I was like, next time I write a book, it's going to have a much more strategic process behind it. And I've been honored to coach coaches and experts that have written books, that have books, and have been successful using this marketing method. So that's what I'm going to share with you. All right. So create a goal for your book first and foremost. Well, let me back up. You get to decide on the two methods first: self-publishing, which is the route I went, or traditional publishing. So traditional publishing still exists. So this is kind of what we would think of. You write a overview of your book, you submit it to a publisher, they like the book, they're going to give you an advance, you might 5-6 figures and you go write the book, they help you market it, they edit it, all that kind of stuff, right? They take the majority of the profits from the book. So, but what traditional publishing is looking for now is for you to have a sizable email list, social media following, and all that kind of stuff, because they want, you're going to have to bring your people to the table as well. Okay. So it's just it's different. There's different levels of traditional publishing. There's the whole full service, that kind of stuff. There's, kind of more mid-level and then like a lower level of traditional publishing. So if that's a way you want to go, that's one thing, and that's your choice. Most coaches, in my opinion, do self-publishing, which is very easy to do now. It's print on demand, which means when somebody buys your book, they print it and ship it for you. You can buy plenty of your books at wholesale cost. And then when you're going and speaking, or you want to have books in order to give to your clients or media partners or referral partners, you have that ability to do that. And with self-publishing, you can choose what size book. Do you want a color front page? Do you want a hardback, softback, white pages, off-white pages, what font, all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. You get to make a lot of choices. So once you decide on your method, then we want to go from there. So most of this training is going to be around self-publishing, right? Traditional publishing is a whole other thing, which is great. I tend to work with the self-publishing route. I did have a friend that did get, traditionally published in a six-figure advance and stuff like that. And when you do that, they have all the writing goals and, it's a job, right? You're being paid to do something. So, all right. So the second thing is once you decide, say we're going to self-publish, you want to create a goal for your book. Okay. What do you want your reader to know when they're reading your book? How do you want them to feel? And what do you want them to do? Right. So it's not just about writing a book that is your biography and your story. We can pepper all that in, but remember who our reader is. And we want to have a goal. How do we want them to feel? What do we want them to know? What do we want them to do? And so using your book as inspiration and education to get them into action and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So create a very specific goal for your book. And then, ideally, the goal and all that stuff is to tie into who our perfect client profile is that we did in the foundations piece, right? We're just building upon that. Then I want you to pick your topic for your book. I want you to give your book a catchy name. I want to give it a great name. And then you go create a table of contents for your book. Okay. So the table of contents is really just about helping create an outline so that you're not just staring at a blinking cursor. You want to have an idea and that'll help break down what you need to be writing about by chapter and by section and all that kind of stuff. So we, start with the table of contents. Okay. And then once you have that, this one below can go above, however you want to do it. You can design or have a graphic designer create your book cover. So a trick for that is to go find your favorite books that you have in your home, and you can measure what size they are and all that kind of stuff. And then if you want to design it, say in Canva, you can do your book covers in Canva. You can have a graphic designer do it in Photoshop or Adobe or whatever. Or you can hire someone on even Fiverr, Fiverr, or 99 Designs, which is a crowdsourcing platform. And remember, with the design, we want to bring in the brand that you've established in the foundations as well. So it's all coherent in telling a story. Then you're going to download a template that usually your self-publishing company that you're going to use online has templates, and you can start writing your book. So you can put in, they have great templates. You just start writing. If you're going to go traditional publishing or you're writing it and you're going to pay someone to format it for you, that's totally fine. But there's typically templates to make it look nice, and when it's printed, it'll be beautiful. Then you want to have goals. So set your writing goals, make it part of your week. Writing your book is marketing. So you want to be really consistent with, I write on Thursday and Friday afternoons, or I'm taking 3 weeks off in the summer and going to go write my book, or whatever that looks and feels like for you. But you want to be consistent with your goals and stay on it, right? Don't just necessarily write when you're inspired. Do something to move the book forward every week. Okay. That'll really help you. All right. And as you're doing this, and once you decide to write a book and maybe even have the design done or what have you of the cover, I want you to share your book writing experience publicly. So that could be, think of it as behind the scenes, right? Like, oh, I'm writing this book, and you're starting to put you're planting seeds out there that are going to grow. So you're going to share, whether it's behind the scenes on social media, you're going to put in your bio, coming soon, insert book name. You've got other ways you can do it through your emails. And, when you're talking and speaking, you want to talk about how you're writing the book. Okay. And when people can expect it to be out. And you don't have to say it's going to be out November 3rd. You could say in the fall or however you want to do that. So, you give yourself a little bit of grace. And then by writing and sharing your book experience that, if you're writing your book publicly, you can then pre-sell your book. So you'd have a landing page on your website to be able to pre-sell your book. And maybe it's a signed copy, or it comes with something else, or what have you. And you can pre-sell your books and get paid as you're going through the process of not just writing it, but then when you self-publish, you'll submit your copy to then come back and you'll make sure the formatting's right. In my case, it was a little off, so I had to make changes, re-upload it, and then do it again. You're going to get your first copy of your book, and then from there, it's like, okay, great, you're ready to go. So, and by self-publishing, you can be on the Amazons and, the online retailers and stuff like that. So it doesn't limit you by self-publishing. And then once you publish your book, I want you to have a launch party. This is, again, remember, this is all about a conversion event. So launch party, you can do something huge in your house and invite all the people that, love you and adore you and will celebrate you, and potential clients and whatever. You could have a party. You can have an online virtual party where you do a toast. You can have both. I had a client once launch a book, and then she rented out the whole back of a beautiful wine bar and did a whole thing and had a speech and had her books there and sold them and signed them. It's a big deal, right? And get people to share it on social, all that good stuff. And, it's one of these things that, to move into the next point, it's not just about launching the book and selling your copies and then forgetting it. You have to consistently promote your book for this marketing method to work. Okay. So you want to be constantly promoting it. Maybe it looks like once a week I'm going to do some sort of post, or once a month I send out an email type of thing that is getting the book visibility, right? And same thing with giving it, you could buy a bunch of your books wholesale and send them to reporters, media, podcasters, all kinds of things to continue to get more and more visibility for the book. And ultimately, I want you to find creative ways to get your book in readers' hands, honestly. So if you're speaking, and maybe you're speaking to a group of 50 people, and you may charge, $500 for that, or whatever your fee is going to be, but they get a copy of your book. So they're getting something, and then you're buying them for wholesale or whatever. And then afterwards, your call to action will be to come back. I will sign your book. I'd love to meet you, and within your book, you can even pepper things like, go to my website at tarabowman.com, chapter 1, to get your exercise on this. And when they do that, they're also, getting on your email list, right? Because we don't want to just take them from book. If they're buying it on Amazon, we don't get the name of the person who, name and email to then help continue to market to them. So you'll want to do clever things, maybe have QR codes, that type of thing, so they can get additional resources. All right. And that's how we get them on your email list, so you can continue to market to them. But you can be really creative on how you get your book in readers' hands. Ultimately, you just can't write the book, launch it once, and expect leads to flow forever. For me, I was naive. I thought Amazon was some amazing algorithm that, I would sell 100 books a month, without putting effort into it. That's not the reality, right? So you want to launch it once. And remember, your book doesn't have to be the book. It could be a series of books that you're going to build into, or what have you. So, launch it, and then have a consistent marketing strategy of always talking about the book, leading things back to the book, etc. And you'll get clients. So a lot of clients who did have books, if a new client would sign with them, they would mail them a book, like a signed copy or whatever, and as a gift, because we'll talk more about that on the onboarding and the wow experience for your coaching clients, but, sending little gifts and stuff like that. And, so you get to decide how you leverage the book. Okay. So, but you want to have some sort of marketing and be driving them to buy the book. All right. You need to always be promoting the book. Okay. So that's how this marketing strategy works. You may just want to author a book, but you don't want to forever do the marketing around it. That's totally fine too. Remember, this is your coaching business. You get to decide. But if you want to continue to leverage the book, make money on the book, drive leads and all that kind of stuff, you want to always be promoting the book. All right. Becomes a marketing strategy. All right. Up next, we're going to do phone calls. I wasn't going to even talk about this, but I was like, you know what? A traditional marketing strategy is making phone calls. I have a few people that I know that do this very well, and it's very classy. And I'm going to share those secrets with you next.